Okay, this is a very interesting question submitted by you. All right, we all turn to Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6. Okay. All right, so, okay, there was this question. Why don't you ask the question to us? Okay, well, almost verbatim. The question is, when Antichrist comes, will Antichrist say that Jesus is his follower? All right? And why do you ask the question? Because of Revelation chapter 6, is it? The beast. Is that why? Don't remember. Anyway, I was given this. It's Revelation chapter 6, verses 1 and 2. All right, so we look at Revelation chapter 6, verses 1 and 2. Okay, now, let's read together. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Okay? Now, here, it seems like there is a beast. A beast, when the seal is opened, the beast will say, come and see, look at Christ. It looks like as if this beast is trying to say, look, he's trying to like be on Christ's side, right? Same side as Christ. Come look at Christ. So, do you get the question? All right? Because who is the beast? Often when we read in the Bible, the beast refer to who? Refer to Antichrist, right? So that's why I think you have the question. Does it mean when Satan arrives, he will pretend to say, oh, Christ, look, Christ is my follower also. Now, so that's a very good question. Who knows the answer? Huh?
Because he was riding a white horse. He was confused when maybe he claimed to be Jesus.
Maybe he claimed to be Jesus.
Or maybe he's a follower because he was riding on a white horse.
Okay, and the beast was talking.
Yes.
Okay, so the beast was talking. And then he said, oh, look, Christ is on a horse. It's like as if Christ is his follower, right? Okay, so his question is, when Antichrist come, will he say, is this saying that, look, Jesus is on a horse, he's also following me? Will he deceive people like that? So whenever we say beast, we often think of Antichrist. Turn to Revelation 13. Okay, now let's read in verse 13, verse 1. Okay, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea. Revelation 13:1, let's read together. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Upon his horns 10 crowns, upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So we know this beast is Antichrist, right? Satan. Now, so now the question is this. Chapter 6, beast. What beast is this? Who knows the answer? Have you done this? No. Okay. Now, beast. The word beast, there are different words in Greek for the word beast. Okay. One word is living thing. One word is living thing. You don't need to know the word, but it's zone. Living thing. A living thing. Okay? A living thing. Another word for beast is the word ferocious animal. Ferocious animal. Wicked. Okay, so there are 2 different words in the Greek that describes that. In English, we simply have beast. Okay, so now, which do you think Revelation chapter 6, which word do you think Revelation chapter 6 uses? This one. Alright? Revelation 13, this one. Different Greek word. So in Revelation chapter 6, where you read the beast say, look, Jesus is riding on a horse. Now that is not Satan. Okay, that's not Satan. That is simply a living creature. Okay? It is not Satan himself. It's another thing. It's a living thing. So the Bible says a living thing showed that Christ was on a horse. It's not Satan himself speaking. So Satan, when he comes, it is not described here that he will tell people that Satan is my follower. Okay? Alright? So Satan will not be saying Christ is my follower based on this passage. Alright? Okay? Answer your question?
So who was the man riding?
Say again?
The man who was set on the white horse. Who was it?
Chapter 6, is it? Chapter 6, this will be Christ. Right? I don't know. I haven't finished studying this. I need to go back and double confirm. But first of all, we establish this beast is not Antichrist. It's not Antichrist himself. Okay? It's not Antichrist himself. The beast in Revelation 20 is Antichrist. Now who is this on the white horse? Let me get back to you. Have you studied Revelation 6? Huh? No, the Revelation chapter 6?
Yeah,
It's covered already.
It's the first 4 beasts. Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Which is Antichrist during the first 3.5 years.
This is the tribulation, correct? This is the tribulation. And I saw the Lamb open the book of seals and heard one of the 4 beasts saying, I come, and I saw a white horse, and he said upon him was a crown, going forth to conquer. And then the 4 seals, right?
This is the peace seal.
Okay.
The false peace.
This is the false peace.
Because it comes with a bow and an arrow. So it conquers. So it conquers the world.
Oh yes, you're right, correct. Alright. Okay, so this is the Antichrist, or this is one of the 3 of them, and he is the one that will go forth. And God will allow him to go forth and trouble the world, right? And cause all these problems in the world. God will allow him to do that, but God, as far as we know in scriptures, Antichrist does not say that Jesus is my follower. In fact, he will try to imitate Christ. He will do what Christ does on earth. He will pretend to be the Savior. Okay? Alright, so as...
The question is he going to, according to chapter 6, is he going to claim that he's a Jesus, or I am also Jesus' follower?
Will he claim that he is Jesus' follower?
He will claim.
Okay. I don't think so. He will fight Christ, and at point of time, he will want to be God himself, because he says that he will sit on the throne and he will claim to be God. He's not trying to imitate Jesus. He's trying to say, worship me, I am God. Yeah, he wants to take Jesus' place. That's why it's called Antichrist. Anti means a replacement. He wants to replace Christ, and he wants the world to worship him. That's why the true believers will not. The true believers know he is Antichrist, a replacement that is trying to usurp the place of Christ. Okay? Alright, so as far as we know, not that we know of that he will ask, unless there's something that I come across, but as far as I know, he does not try and pretend. He actually wants the world to worship him for who he is. Right from the beginning, he said, I will ascend and be higher than God. Okay, he did not want to try to pretend to be God. But he will imitate a lot of things that Christ does. Remember all of them, one of them will have a sheep voice, but he's like a ravening wolf. He'll be very nice and all that. Okay? Alright, so as far as we know, he does not try and make people think that he is Jesus Christ. Okay, he will say, worship me, I'm the ruler of this world. Okay? Alright. what do we have here? Top 5 reasons why church dropouts, what church dropouts say, why they stop attending church. Now please remember 66% of, well, I take the American view, they are the most readily available results, they stop attending church at least a year after turning 18. So from